Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a good day. I want to thank you guys for being here. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're not already new to the channel. So this massive box appeared on my front porch today, and I was so happy when I got the delivery notification for Massive Darkness to Hellscape, the Kickstarter. So as you can see, it was very well packaged. There was tons of foam holding this sucker in there. Uh, and as you can see, I didn't get just the base pledge. I got a few extras. I didn't get everything, and I wanted to make sure that I got almost what was going to be Kickstarter exclusive that you might not get in the stores, or some stuff that will be available later on in stores. But we're just going through here, opening up this package and seeing what's in it. I'm sorry I'm doing a voiceover. My audio got messed up somehow. I don't know what happened for pretty much everything in the video, so I'll just decide to do voiceover for everything. I hope you don't mind. Drop a comment down below if you picked up this Kickstarter and if you've received your copy as well, and if you're looking forward to playing with this. Now, to be honest, I don't know how I'm going to store this entire thing. This is great. This is going to be fun to paint on the channel. I'm looking forward to getting started on those. I hope you enjoy, folks. Alright, so let's get started with the massive base box. This is the core game. This is what you'll get if ever you wait till it comes to retail. This is what you're going to get. Now, I don't know if it's going to have the nice box, because this has a spot UV, I think, on it, or not even, maybe. Look, the seal to get this cover off was so tough. Like, yeah, there's just so much in here. So, of course, you get, yeah, I don't know why every single one of these boxes had this back thing on it. I don't know if it was to protect it or something. So here's the rules and the quest, of course. You're going to have to go through this. There's a lot of rules. I mean, if you've played Massive Darkness 1, you know the rules are not complicated, but there's a lot to learn. And this one, I find the only thing I'm a little intimidated by is the fact that every person has its own abilities and their own track and their own this and that. Now, if you decide to keep all the inserts, that's how you're going to put them back in there. So there's a whole bunch of cardboard here, stuff to punch out. And to tell you the truth, I don't know where to put those after. So I'm going to buy myself a little container, storage container to put them in. Your roaming monsters, there's quite a few. Now, there's levels 1 through 5 and then 6 through 10. And the 6 through 10 stuff is only for the Heavenfall pledge. So if you haven't gotten Heavenfall part, all those 6 to 10 cards are going to be completely useless. So, I mean, you don't need to keep them. You could just toss them away, at least not in the garbage, but keep them for that. But I mean, just put them somewhere else. So we're going to get to the main part of the CMON Games series always, is the miniatures. And now they put a lot of tape on here. And I mean a lot of tape. So I finally got through cutting all the tape and able to get the top part off, and of course there is still more tape. I was like, oh my god, there's tape everywhere, and I accidentally cut my table here. I was like, whoops, oh well. It happens in the hobby, right? Whatever. You can always sand those tables down and fix them. And look at all the miniatures. Like, these are your mobs, and your, I think there must be some, no, these are all mobs, I believe, these ones here. Like, look at, again, the detail. This looks like some sort of skeleton warrior, but like with like a cloak and stuff. That's gonna be fun to paint. We got don't know what this guy is, but I mean, I'm just showing you quickly what's in the trays. I'm not gonna show you every single one of these miniatures because otherwise we'll be here the whole day. This, I believe, is the Reaper. It's one of the bosses, so pretty cool. It's got like octopus legs instead of regular legs. That's cool. Now this has to be one of my favorite miniatures. This is the Archangel Michael. He's one of the big bosses too in this game. I can just imagine how he's gonna be fun to paint. Now this is, I think this is just a roaming monster, this one, and I was trying to get him back in the box. I was like, no, not that way, not this way, maybe this way. No. Anyways, somehow we'll figure out how he goes back in the box. And while I was looking at that, I noticed that the one on the right hand side, one of the monsters there, has a broken piece. I have reported it to CMON. We'll see what happens. I mean, I don't know. I could maybe glue it back on, but it's very tiny and just might not stick properly. So anyways, if anybody knows how to fix little parts like that, I have plastic glue. I got super glue. Do you put green stuff as well, maybe, just to keep it more tight together? I'm not 100% sure. So anyways, Moving on. So here's one of the top trays here. Again, the stupid tape is stuck everywhere. Here we go. Cut that off. All right. So here's some more, of course, mobs. There's some tiny little guys. There's some big ones. These look like harpies or something, or some sort of demons. Uh, yeah, the little tiny dudes there. Those are going to be interesting to paint. And of course, you take off some more plastic, and then you have your heroes. There, we got a centaur hero this time. Now, what's kind of cool though is that you'll see at the end there's an upgrade pack that you can use your heroes and stuff from the first game. So that's pretty cool that they did that. There's another roaming. I mean, this is a roaming monster. I mean, and if you look at the boards later on, there's not much room on the boards. And I always said this about Massive Darkness and even Zombicide. And this is a cool miniature. It's got a lot of armor and stuff. Their miniatures sometimes could be a little too big for the board. Like you spawn this guy, it takes up the whole square. Now here we go again, trying to figure out how this guy goes in there. And then you have this guy, a wizard, who's just on the board. It takes up maybe like, 1/10 of the space. But then you got these big, massive miniatures that are taking up the whole space. How do you cram them all in that one room, kind of thing? Like to me, it's barely impossible. So I am trying to fiddle around again with trying to get him back in there, and I think I did. And then trying to get her in there. I think it's a her. This one, I'm not sure. It might be her, a he, a reaper. I don't know. It's the reaper. I don't know. Finally got them back into their plastic. Let's move them out of the way and take a look at the rest of the contents, because I mean that's fun and all, but look, we got bags. Now these are, I don't know if these are going to be Kickstarter exclusive. I don't remember if they were, but they are in the base game. It's written just like what you get in the base. And these trays are so nice this time. I mean, there are slots for everything, like your weapons, your armor, your trinkets. Pretty cool. And even on your level tracker on the right hand side that you'll punch out of the punch boards and put that in there. So here's a ton of cards. You got your starting equipment, you got some equipment, some stuff like that. You got your hero cards here, I think, and you got your mob cards and probably other stuff. I didn't want to open this all now because I mean it's just cards. I mean, yay, great. They look great, by the way. I've opened them up now and they do look nice. They are good quality cardstock, as you would, well, not cardstock, paper, I guess, or whatever. So as we remove the trays, we're like, oh, look, more stuff underneath, of course. So we got the boards itself. And we have all the nice dice. Now, I hope there's enough dice in this game. I hope they learned their lesson from the first one where as you add dice, you run out of dice. They could have added more dice. So to be honest, I always am annoyed at games that like, oh, buy extra dice. No, give us the dice. I'm sure it doesn't cost you a fortune. Look how nice these boards are. Now, I don't know if this one here is a boss mat, but I mean, the details on that were so nice. All right, moving on now, we're going to take a look at the stretch goals box, which is called the Darkbringer pack. So here's everything you're going to get in here. And remember when I said Archangel Michael was my favorite miniature? Well, this one has, I think, my favorite miniature. And there's a picture of him right there, Hades, and you're going to see that miniature. So you get some quests for this. There, you get the ferryman and all that. There's some beautiful miniatures again. At least you get a few more heroes and not a ton of them. Like Zombicide, when they do Kickstarters and they just pop on the heroes and you have 40 different heroes. What is the point? I would rather have different kinds of monsters to fight instead of 40 heroes. So I'm glad they kind of did this with this one. They only had added a few more heroes, and you do get some in the other extra boxes, but they really just went with minimum kind of number of heroes. All right, so we got the tape off of this one again. So as you can see, that was another. And then as you can see behind Hades, they put like this little thing here to protect, I guess, the wand, because some people have said that they've gotten some broken pieces. Now, like I said, I had one in the base game that was broken, but look at this miniature. I'm gonna have to find a way to make this look so nice. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna try. This is what they call the Scorpion King, another one of the bosses. A lot of parts though where you're gonna probably have to fill in those gaps. There's a lot of holes on this one for some reason. So a little bit of liquid green stuff in there will do the trick. There's the ferryman. Look, I mean, just beautiful. That base is gonna be like swamp lake water, I guess, maybe mythical water. I'm gonna have to try and find a way to do that. It's just amazing. And then we have some more, I guess. These must be more roaming bosses or monsters, I guess. Not bosses, but monsters. They're not mobs, that's for sure. And I don't even think they added more mobs in here. Now this is another nice miniature. They have, like I said, CMON always made good quality miniatures. And Let's see. You always have a hard time putting these things back in the box. You're like, which way did you come out of here? Somehow. He'll get back in there. No? Yes? No? This guy first? Maybe? I don't know. Let's try that way. Oh, God. Now, you guys might be laughing at this part. You might have fast forwarded this already. I was just like, yeah, I'll leave him there. Move on. Alright, here comes another tray of stuff stuck with tape. Anyways, okay, so there's quite a few more heroes. Not that many. The thing is, like I said, you have to learn all these abilities for these heroes. Like, they all have their own little dashboards and special things and that. I don't know if that was necessary. Maybe. Instead of having all of them be the same with their stats. At least they got rid of the paper things. You have to write down stuff of like where they were at in their levels and all that. It's a little easier to track now. This is an interesting thing. I was trying to figure out what it was. It was some sort of thing riding a monster of some sort, like some sort of beast. This looks like a phoenix hero. Pretty interesting. Alright, so we're going to just go through. Oh, I think there's more tape stuck to that there. And I think you got a couple more mobs or bosses. Oh yeah, there are some mobs. That's right, because usually you have like a minion with their, no, a boss with minions. I don't know, I don't remember. A mob. Anyways, I picked up this 3D chest and pillars as an extra. So we're moving on to the extras now. So everything you just saw was, sorry, no, yeah, what you just saw was the base and the Kickstarter stretch goals. This is my extra stuff, the chests and pillars. Why did I get this? Because chests are always fun to use in D&D. You can use them in other games as well that might have chest tokens, and you can just grab those instead. These are going to be later. I'm going to be able to test some Army Painter speed paints actually on these chests. So stay tuned for that video eventually when I get my speed paints. The pillars are really nice. Look at the little details of skulls and all that. We're going to have fun painting those up as well. Alright, so the first expansion box I got was the War of Souls. So this is not part of like the Kickstarter pledge. This is an add-on. I decided to add this on because I think this one might have been a Kickstarter exclusive. I'm not 100% sure. I may be wrong. Again, it has that weird paper back. Don't ask me why. But these guys are like ghosts and spirits and stuff, and I kind of like those kind of things in games. I find that cool. So you got a Banshee, who's your monster, and then you have your mobs, like a storm element, like storm elementals. That's kind of cool. And then you have your mob items, and of course some tokens. That's kind of cool. It's always fun to have that. So these kind of boxes, you could keep them separately like this, and when you want to play these ones, you can then add those cards. But I don't know if it mixes well, if it's easy to take apart after. Of course, there's again tape on these boxes. Well, I mean, it's keeping them secure, right? I always seem to mess up on the first cutting of the tape. Let's take a look at these measures. I just always put the insert back in the box. I don't know why I did that. It's just easier to put it back together after. Alright, so there's your Banshee. I mean, that's pretty cool. That's going to be nice to paint. Good details again on these miniatures. So if you didn't get this box, I don't know if this one's going to, like I said, was going to be retail available or if it's just a Kickstarter exclusive. I can't remember. You can take a look at the Kickstarter page and it'll tell you which ones were Kickstarter exclusives. I know I tried to get at least one or two of them that were exclusive. The Gates of Hell. This might actually be an exclusive. I don't remember. So this has Cerberus and some undead guys. Pretty cool looking. Again, there's that paper backing. Can someone please explain to me what they were? And there's absolutely no difference from that backing and what's written on the back of the box. So just trees that you guys killed? I mean, didn't have to put that on there. Anyways, if it was a different language, I would have understood, but it's not. So there's your roaming monster cards, your mob cards, shadow demons. That's gonna be kind of cool. And then you have some tokens for the dog, or Cerberus. It looks like his 3 heads, and I'm guessing the fire means that you've destroyed one head. Some of the loot items and stuff like that. And here we go with tape. Let's get that knife out, folks. You're gonna keep that knife handy. Keep it close. Don't keep it too close to your skin. You don't want to cut that. Alright, again, see, I always forget that first part of the tape just never seems to get cut off. Alright, so we have Cerberus himself. Again, a few mold, like, I don't know what you call those, like gaps, I guess you could say. So I might have to put a little bit of liquid green stuff in there. I'm trying to get this guy out. For some reason, he kept slipping out of my hand. This guy's cool. He looks like a little dwarf, but I think he's undead. Like, I'm not sure. It's just really neat. Of course, I won't show you all again. You get your mobs and your roaming monsters there, so that's pretty cool. And I think Cerberus is a roaming monster, so he's not a boss. So you could just add this in as a random roaming monster if you want to, I guess, or if you want to just play these guys as your bad guys. All right, the next box I picked up was the 4 Horsemen. Yes, I like the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. I actually have the Apocalypse expansion for the others. I've actually painted those on this channel. And so it was kind of fun because that was like a modern version of the apocalypse. Now this is like the medieval version of the apocalypse. So you have like war, plague, famine, and death. I mean, these are, I just find it cool. And they come with their own tiles. So I'm assuming, and they come with their own story. So it looks like you can fight all of them. So you can get the final quest as the 4 horsemen. So I'm assuming you go through each one of them, and at the end you have to fight all 4. You get some nice tokens. You get so these guys are bosses. So you get boss mats with them. You get boss tiles with them. It's kind of cool. When I read the rules, there's actually like the timer stops and becomes a new track. There's a darkness tracker now. So a greater punishment. Did you see that? A greater punishment, not just a greater monster. No, a greater punishment. Let's take a look at some of those minis there. To be honest, I found these ones are a little lackluster in the details. They're like okay, they're horses, but I was a little surprised how little details there was. Like I understand they're on horses, but even the characters like look, they're very plain. I was really not that impressed with this box set of minis. All right, so the very first box that is also part of the Kickstarter base, like pledge, is Rainbow Crossing. Well, I don't even know what to say about this one. Rainbow Crossing. I mean, really? In a game that's called Massive Darkness, to have this really colorful rainbow stuff boards and everything, like super fluffy auras, bear hugs. I this one might just stay in the box. I might play it on its own. If you only use these tiles and the heroes, you don't have to mix anything else in, and you can just use what's in here, fine. But I don't feel like mixing this all in and trying to figure out what goes with what because, ouch. And I'm not even sure if there's fluffy auras, if the cupids, like your monsters are cupids. I'm not even sure if there's like somewhere on it that explains that this is from this expansion, that's from that expansion. I mean, okay, you gotta give it that this miniature was cute, a lot of details, and he's gonna be pink. That's gonna be so easy to paint. And I would actually do that probably with a speed paint. You grab some pink paint, put him on there, and just do a few details. He's done. You can get him to the table in probably like 10 minutes or something. So yeah, just keep an eye out on the channel for eventually these paintings of this. This is gonna be a lot of stuff to paint. There's your cupids and your little unicorn mobs. Like, again, this is probably my least favorite expansion. It's funny, and some people out there are gonna love it. Hey, this might attract a whole new crowd of people wanting to play this. I don't know. The next one is the Feyfolk. This is just an enemy box, so you can just put this in with the base game if you wanted to. Again, one of those stupid papers on the back. You can just add them in there so that they become like because I think you choose a certain amount of roaming monsters and a certain amount of mobs and stuff like that. So to make the game more replayability in that, you could take some of these, mix them in with the base one, or you could leave these aside, and when you say, okay, I've done enough with the base game, let's add in some new monsters, go ahead and add these ones in there. Why not, right? So then you have some tokens in here. You have again their mob items, the boss card. So there is an actual boss in this one. This is what's kind of cool. It adds an extra boss. And the tape comes back again to haunt me from all these games. At least I was getting used to it now. I was able to chop them off in one slice. Well, that's always a good thing. And also, if you guys are still watching this video, I hope you are. I hope you like it. Hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. It'll be much appreciated. So you just saw the boss there. I guess this is one of the roaming monsters. And then another one of the roaming monsters here. This weird looking harpy kind of, I don't know, fluffy thing. First one looked like a moth. These look more like harpies actually, but it could be like little eagles or I don't know. And then they have little lightning bugs on top. Pretty interesting. Alright, next one you would get is the Bards and Tinkerers versus the Metal Angel. Yeah, Metal Angel. That's pretty cool. So we have the Archangel Michael, and we have a Metal Angel now. Again, a paper on the back. So this is part of your base pledge if you got that one. So I'm not sure if these are. I think these are all Kickstarter exclusives. These last few ones, and the next one's coming up. So you get some rules for them, and you get a lot more punchboard stuff, like a lot more stuff to take out, more tokens, because I guess the Bards and Tinkerers have their own things. Explains what those pouches do in that one, which is kind of funny that that just showed up on that one, but I know it does in the base rules as well. So this, I don't know why they put like special cardboard for these guys for their starting equipment, or is this like epic armor or something? Is this their boards? I'm gonna have to read up on that because that kind of interesting in that. So there's the rules card for the Tinkerer. It explains what to do with him, I guess. You have their hero cards, you have the loot cards, and the mob spawning, the epic treasure cards. Alright, so let's take out this plastic. Hey, look, more tape. Gotta love the tape. Nope, on the side. Nope, in the front. Don't remember. Alright, at least I'm getting used to it, like I said. I can take them off pretty quickly. Gonna get there. There we go. Alright, so you get a boss. I think it's a boss. It might be just a roaming monster. I'm not sure. I don't remember. There's the Metal Angel. So this will be kind of cool. You can prime this in silver and splash some contrast paint on him or some speed paints and he'll pretty much be done. You have some of the Tinkerers. This guy's in this custom-made wheelchair. He reminds me of the guy from that movie Wild Wild West. And you can see that guy's sword there. I don't know if it was supposed to be like that, but that is bent. Anyways, I'm going to have to put some hot water on that. Monks and Necromancers versus the Paragon. So, remember I was saying there was not enough heroes? Oops. This box and the last box have heroes. So you're getting 8 more heroes, plus the ones for the basics, and then I think you get, what, 10 in the stretch goals. So you got quite a few again. So some rules for what monks and necromancers do and what the Paragon does and their traps. So as you can see here, you have whole new boards for them, and it tells you. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna like how this stuff works. Like, we'll see. We'll figure. See, there's a necromancer dashboard, so I'm assuming he calls in some like special guys or something. Some new tokens. There's the Paragon. Okay, so these are roaming monsters. They're not bosses. You know, I would have thought they would have made them monsters, bosses, but anyways, and there's chakra cards, like, okay, epic treasure cards again, and some other stuff for your heroes. And we're going to get that tape off again and show you some of these miniatures a little bit closer. At least they're well packaged, I gotta say that. I mean, they're not flying all over the place and, you know, breaking and stuff. It's a nice miniature, very detailed. Nice, beautiful cape. Lots of details on that. That's going to be fun to paint, easy to paint as well. Here's one of your bards. It looks like he's holding a broom. It's kind of weird. Anyway, so your bards and your necromancers. Right? Is that what it was? Yeah. Alright. The Kickstarter upgrade pack. Now, this is the last thing you'll get with your base pledge. And this is going to upgrade your very first, and again, there's a stupid paper on the back of this one. This is going to upgrade your first Massive Darkness. Now, if you're me, I bought just a base game way after this game came out, and I can't find anything else, no expansions or anything like that. I only got the Elementals, and I think I got the Druids versus the Beetle Buds, or I don't even remember the name of them. But, and sorry, I went out of focus for some reason here, but there's a whole set of rules explaining to you how you can change, I think, the first quest, like from the first game, you use the boards from the first one. But again, if you don't have like the Crystal Cave and the Lava boards, you can't use half of this stuff. If you don't have any of the expansions, you can't use 3/4 of this stuff. So I took out what I could use that, like this guy I actually have as a boss. These two, I don't have the Elephant and I don't have the Cyclops duo. I don't have those guys. So they're going to be completely useless to me. And I'm not going to go looking for them. I'm not going to go, because people are now going to probably sell the originals for super expensive just because people are like, they're going to want them for Massive Darkness 2 and nah. But you get tons of cards, and again, you get levels 1 through 10, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You don't need them unless you have the Heavenfall pledge or the campaign mode. And so you go through these cards, you don't have everything you need. Anyways, the upgrade pack is cool, but unless you have everything, it's not going to be really worth it. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We're going to catch you all in the next one.